As winter ended and the muddy ground finally began to harden, military analysts widely expected a massive, heavy armor Russian spring offensive. The plan was to use this newly solid ground to smash through Ukrainian defense lines with concentrated columns of tanks. But that heavy armored push has yielded minimal progress. Russian tanks and infantry fighting vehicles have been effectively stalled, unable to secure a significant breakthrough, despite the drying terrain. Instead of mechanized spearheads, Russian commanders have shifted their focus to cheap, infantry-led meat assaults. This shift has led to a bizarre regression in transport. Troops are now attempting to cross the battlefield on completely exposed dirt bikes and motorcycles. Entire squads are crossing open terrain, relying on light civilian vehicles. ATVs and buggies now ferry troops directly toward the trenches. The reliance on non-traditional transport has reached such an extreme that Russian forces have been verified conducting assaults on horseback. Russia's heavy mechanized capabilities are being sidelined before they even reach the 0-kilometer trench lines. These low-tech transport methods are being used because the armored columns intended for the spring push are simply not making it to the front. To understand why this armor is failing to reach the front, we have to look into the airspace immediately behind the combat zone. The Ukrainian defense is anchored by fixed-wing reconnaissance drones. These act as the eyes and ears of the military, gliding over the battlefield to relay coordinates in real time. The efficiency and range of these drones have grown sharply. Ukrainian operators are now recording Russian movements at the earliest stages of their deployment, long before they reach the contact line. This creates a lethal 50-kilometer death zone behind enemy lines. Targets are tracked and eliminated miles away. Units are whittled down before an assault, forcing commanders to frantically shift troops laterally to plug holes. While the final clash happens in the trenches, the battle is decided in this buffer. Russian forces are dismantled merely trying to arrive. Ukraine is now scaling up the production of operational-level drones to push this perimeter even further. These are mid-range systems designed to target logistics and command hubs beyond the immediate front line. These systems are targeting command posts and logistics hubs 150 kilometers away, aiming to sever the supply chains that feed the mechanized units at the front. But the reach of these strikes is no longer limited to the border. Ukraine is executing strategic strikes over 1,000 kilometers deep into Russia. Swarms of hundreds of long-range drones are launched almost every night, targeting deep within the Russian interior. A notable example is the strike on the strategic Primorsk oil terminal near St. Petersburg. The damage at Primorsk was so severe that it was initially attributed to missile fire. In reality, it was the work of drones carrying 120-kilogram explosive payloads over a distance of 1,000 kilometers. By delivering heavy payloads this deep, Ukraine has effectively removed the safe zone for Russian industry. The war now reaches the industrial centers that provide the revenue and equipment needed to sustain the front. How are hundreds of slow-moving drones penetrating 1,000 kilometers of Russian airspace without being shot down? Russia's vast territory is increasingly vulnerable. Outside of the major cities, significant gaps are appearing in their airspace defense. Heavy S-400 missile systems are being pulled away from critical infrastructure and clustered tightly around Moscow. The S-400 is Russia's premier long-range surface-to-air missile system, designed to intercept aircraft and missiles at distances up to 400 kilometers. With these systems concentrated around the capital, 3 types of targets are being prioritized by Ukrainian drone swarms: oil and gas infrastructure, military facilities, and civil industries supporting the war effort. While the physical front line remains locked in a grueling war of attrition, the conflict's true momentum is expanding to targets hundreds of miles away. The effort to maintain pressure on the Ukrainian front line has left Russia's own economic engine exposed. The infrastructure that funds and builds their military is now facing precise, nightly destruction. Scaling this drone production requires specific materials. You can support the work of Infokomanda by donating to the Memorabilis Fund, which is currently securing the budget for 65 types of engineering plastics used in these 3D printers. Details are in the description.